Previously on Wizard's Ways in Neverwinter Nights 2. A life who was simple with his apprentice has took an unexpected turn after a rather rude awakening. With a surprise attack on his home village, he lost his home, a friend, and a normal life. And all of it for a silver shard. But the shard is not a simple one, as it's oozing with mysterious magic, and its purpose is unknown. Now, to uncover the mystery of this shard, he must travel to Neverwinter and find his father's brother, Duncan, at the sunken flagon Tavern. Will he uncover the secrets of a shard, or will he die en route to Highcliff? We will find out in the lands of Neverwinter Nights 2. After some time on the road, we stop at a Weeping Willow Inn, a haven for travelers and misfits. But our rest is interrupted by an intense argument near the stables. It may be just drunks fighting each other again. But let's see what they even argue about.
Now that we're outside, maybe you'd like to tell me what you said again. Slowly this time, so you could think about what you're saying.
You're a small one to be taking this road all by yourself, dwarf. Maybe you've come looking for trouble. Unless you have a little coin to convince us otherwise.
This shit, I'm out.
My friend's right. I believe all of you were threatening me. If you ever decide to throw a punch, that is. Even the stranger can see you're too scared of your own shadows to do it.
Is that so? Maybe both of you should pay. How about that?
Come on. Someone tried to hit me already. Even the newcomer here sees that you're all too afraid to do anything.
All right, I've heard enough of this. Come on, boys. Let's deal with the dwarf and his new friend.
I have been on the road for several hours, and yet it feels like it's hard as fair all over again. Roughnecks that bring clubs to a fist fight couldn't even stand straight, as with a snap of the fingers, all three instantly falls asleep.
Well now, that was a good fight. A shame they had to resort to weapons, but if they have to keep the odds even, can't blame them too much. Name's Kelgar, by the way, of the clan Iron Fist.
Everyone, meet Kelgar. Kelgar Iron Fist. A dwarf, a fighter, and an embodiment of Sigma male energy. He is straightforward in his beliefs and views, but he often shows through his colorful language and tendency to punch stuff before asking questions, as he fights for justice in his own proclaimed way. After a joke of a fight, Kelgar offers us a drink and a stories to share. And while it's tempting to keep moving, a small break and a drink wouldn't hurt, so we accept it.
Here and share our stories over a few of the innkeeper's best. So then I punched him in the face for asking. And while he was trying to pick his teeth off the floor, his friend decided to add a few choice words about my heritage. So I punched him too. So to make a long story short, I take pride in what I do, fighting. It's something you can't get enough of, and it's something where there's always room for improvement if you apply yourself, stay focused, and keep swinging. And that's why I'm headed to Neverwinter. I heard there's a house of monks there. A monastery, right? I heard they'll train anyone, just for the asking. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
Why monk?
Well, as it happens, I didn't always want to become a monk. What happened was that...
The Kalacha. Find it.
Well, look at this. Our next round of practice just arrived.
Well, that's a predicament I should have expected. Our pursuers did catch up with us, and now proceed to kill everyone inside. This is where a game starts to pull off a tutorial support ways, and show just how much damage they could deal. Well, I have yet to see a problem a sleeve spell and a dagger couldn't handle.
Looks like we have company.
Destroy them all.
お前はもう死んでいる。
I don't speak Japanese.
As we finish a brawl, a woman ran down the stairs, pleading to save her husband from invaders. We accept her plea, heal up, and run in to save whoever is left alive. As we enter the second floor, a distinct sound of broken glass and furniture could be heard. But moments later, several doors opens and numerous grey dwarfs pour in, surrounded and outnumbered. They think that they have an advantage. Well, the more you are, the more sleep spell will put you down. As we swiftly clear the area, scooping up any valuables we could find, in an empty room we find a man, hiding in a corner. With improvised interrogation, we find out that this man is a husband who got caught in a reckless search and destroy for a shard. He knows nothing about the attackers and neither what Kalakcha is. After wasting more time questioning him for anything else, the last thing he could offer is a reward for his rescue. 25 gold pieces? Do you know how expensive magic reagents are nowadays? Health mixtures and potions? I risked my hide to save you from a demon. The least you could do is to pay up appropriately. Come on, this isn't that hard.
No!
Very good. Now go. Your wife is waiting you downstairs. It's safe now. As we took our sweet time transmuting every possible lock on this floor, we barge in to finish with the stragglers. But we're not alone in this fight. A merchant's guards are still standing strong, and together we dispatch the last of the attackers. The merchant Gillen, a familiar face from Harvest Fair, is also clueless about the raid. And what does Kalakcha mean? He does share a troubling news of a growing banditry along the high cliff roads, and unsettling rumors about the missing captain of a fort lock. Fortunately, the fort itself lies nearby and leads to High Cliff anyway, so why not investigate the problem as well? Going downstairs, we are greeted as heroes. The wife offers a reward for successful rescue of her husband, which we gladly accept with a big sarcastic smile. Afterwards, we take our opportunity to stock up on supplies and potions from the innkeeper, but most importantly, we acquire our first magic bag. In this universe, we have countless powerful magical artifacts, ranging from enhancing rings, talking swords, self-cleaning armor, and guns. There is one particular magic item that will always be in demand, and that is a bag of holding, all because of a single property: to shift any item you put in into a separate pocket dimension, completely nullifying its weight. A dream come true to any wizard or thief who lacks a physical strength to lug around an arsenal of potions and what's not. The true bags of holding, however, exceedingly rare, and a treasure only the wealthiest of adventurers could lay their hands upon. But for the masses, the more affordable knockoff versions are available. These imitations, while not so perfect, significantly ease a burden of carrying a multitude of items. Stepping outside, we speak with Kelgar, with his spirits soaring from adrenaline rush in brawl. Seizing the moment, he proposed a simple request: to team up as we journey towards Neverwinter. A robust dwarf and a potent wizard could go a long way together. Alright, Kelgar, I suppose we could achieve a lot if we work together. Just don't run to a line of fire, and I would share a spare equipment and glory if you so desire.
And don't you worry about me keeping up. Kelgar Iron Fist carries his own weight. I won't be slowing you down.
As we traveled north, the wilderness around Fort Lock greeted us with its inhabitants, wolves and bigger wolves. And among the sounds of nature, a human shouting could be heard. Coming closer, we quickly realize it's Gillen again, but this time his own bodyguards turned against him and now robbing him for money. Our unexpected intervention threw a wrench to their plans, as now we are a standing witness of their crime. The confrontation escalates rather quickly, as I narrowly avoid the sword to the face, With some AI shenanigans, we direct them into attacking Kelgar, and then dispatch him with the sleep spell. Again. After some negotiations later, we receive a hard-earned reward, and continue our journey towards the fort, just to arrive at yet another scene of proactive robbery, this time of a lone tiefling traveler.
What, demon? No screams for us? Maybe we should brand you. Maybe that'll loosen your tongue.
Leave me alone! I've done nothing to you.
Well, now Commander Valis will be happy to hear that, he will.
Still, there's just the small matter of those bounties on bandits he posted, and a bandit with demon blood. Well, there's no telling how much that's worth.
Of course, you could tell us where your camp is, and we won't even have to butcher the lot of you.
I told you I'm not with those bandits. Or are you deaf and stupid?
Stupid? Here we were, thinking about letting you live. Now you've gone and changed our minds.
Hey, hold on. Looks like she's got friends, she does.
This don't concern you. We're soldiers from Fort Lock, hunting bandits.
That we are. Caught this demon trying to raid our camp, and we were about to deal with her.
Gentlemen, let's not rush to conclusions, especially if that involves someone else's life. How about a deal? You run off to your barracks, like a good little guardsman you are, and I don't turn you to authorities for your little side hustle you have.
You think you're going to stop us, are you?
You know, Valis might pay for 3 bandit bounties. He's not one for asking questions.
Especially about a demon, a runty dwarf, and a dirty hobbleman who doesn't know enough to keep walking.
Runty dwarf? I know you cowards aren't talking to me, or you'll be talking to my fist next.
Good enough for me. Let's kill them all and I'll sort out the tale later.
Guards, despite their loosened tongues, actually back up their words with one hell of a skirmish. Tough, experienced and tenacious. They're leagues ahead the rabble we fought before. And yet, with well-timed healing, we outlive them and talk to our tiefling.
Where did you come from? I mean, one moment I thought I was dead, and then suddenly you're here. And look at all this blood. Sorry if I sounded surprised. It's just, you know, people don't usually help me out like that. Especially, well, people like you. You know, nice-looking people. Does that make me a damsel in distress? Oh, I hope not. I hate those women.
Meet Nishka, an outsider, a thief, and just unlucky enough to be stopped right outside the fort. She is a tiefling, a human, infused with the power of the lower planes of Faerun, or simply speaking, fantasy hell. These ties grant them exceptional abilities, such as seeing in the dark slightly better, making a cloud of absolute darkness around them, and being key 80% of the time, while not being a bark like holy sh. But this comes at the price of demonic appearance and simple human superstitions that eventually drives them out of human societies. This often leads to bitterness, as some choose the path of evil, embracing the fiendish heritage. Lucky for us, she is just a cute demon girl that just so happens to be a very opportunistic thief. You are familiar with a typical rogue arsenal and their abilities, but how exactly they are different from a fighter, for example? They aren't particularly tough, and dexterity could only carry you so far. But the one thing that makes them different is the damage. Fighters attack with their sheer amount of muscle. Spellcasters deal most of the damage through spells. Rogues, however, don't have neither the strength of a body nor the mind. So he stabs people really hard. That is his whole gimmick. And later, he learns to stab people even harder. Nishka shares that she had planned to move further east, past the fort, until a distilled invisibility potion sold by a dubious merchant nearly led to her undoing. Now, eager to repay her debt, she asked to join a group. Kelgar, true to his nature, is immediately skeptical, voicing his distrust in his characteristic blunt manner. Nishka, undeterred, matches his attitude with her own sharp response. That will be the usual interactions between each other for quite some time. Mildly amused by this, we preemptively stop them both and bring Nishka aboard. Welcome to the team. I guess I won't need to test traps myself anymore. We got an expert for that. After picking stolen gear from nearby chest, we finally enter the fort. Well, I know it looked shabby from outside, but this is just bad. And it wasn't hard to find the chief, as his ever-present French aura could be sensed from miles away. Lieutenant Wallace is present as second in command, sent here to temporarily replace the real commander, who has been missing for some time. If we annoy him long enough, we could convince him that we are more than the eye could see, and that they could investigate the disappearance, for a price of course. While he doubts in our competence, he accepts our aid, and yet he knows when to press, as he does not bend so easily to my demands for higher pay. He tells that all 3 patrols were lost east from here, near an old graveyard, then immediately dismisses us to return to his duties. Here we once again encounter Galen, reluctantly thinking about returning to his harbor ever again. He would serve as a source of early magic items and supplies. Here we also introduced to a crafting part of the game, an optional yet rewarding endeavor for creating unique magic items and enhancing gear. If you're proficient at that is. Galen and the Force-Smith Jacoby offer both the materials and necessary schematics. But at this stage, the majority of useful items could be just bought from a merchant. With our group equipped and prepared, we ventured towards the graveyard, moderately prepared for interesting discoveries. Okay, I feel a strange feeling again. I can't tell what exactly caused it. Well, I wonder what it is. We are ambushed by a gang of bandits, roadblocking our path onwards. They demand a hefty sum to pass unarmed. Well, have some of this! Ooh, nice glove you have. Alright, where are things up here? The party arrives at a graveyard that is wrapped in the blackness of the night. And what is a fantasy graveyard without the undead? They don't feel pain, or remorse, or critical strikes. Swords are useless against the bone, and hammers are useless against decaying flesh. And if you did harm it, it would just shrug it off and continue fighting. They are numerous, and most of our spells don't even work on these abominations. As such, to come out victorious, we'll utilize an uncommon human ability to strategize. First, turn off the AI of our companions. It's certainly artificial, but not intelligent in the slightest, as in its deep and thoughtful process, sending squishy rogues into a meat grinder is a very good idea. Kelka would be our shield and sword. His dwarven axe deal a shattering 1d10 damage per hit, and we don't even account a strength bonus. And with his clear teeth, he would chop through hordes of enemies with ease. As long as he's alive, we could outdamage their innate damage reduction and kill them before they kill us. We would aid him from the distance, mage armor, frost rays, medical aid, and igniting his weapon with fire. Everything that will help us in a battle. A crossbow, while not ideal against undead, could still damage them, even a little. Nishka, she'll sit in a corner and silently watch as we do all the dirty work. And after that, picking locks, commit a well distribution and disarm traps. Despite the daunting odds, we emerge victorious. Now we can properly scout the graveyard for any signs of a lost commander or patrols by delving down into catacombs. First crypt is rather small. The only rooms are on the left, right and up north. On left and right are small rooms with sarcophaguses lying there, with hefty sum of treasures and the enemies protecting them. Up north is a chamber. Inside, numerous coffins are opened, and undead are lying there in their slumber. After careful investigation, a hidden door behind an angel statue reveals itself. The moment we approach it, all zombies wake up and slowly crawl towards you. But by pulling a lever in this secret room, you could stun them and make it work on them. It didn't work. Inside a secret tomb, we find a scroll of raising the dead that we can use, but cannot scrap it down a spellbook yet. Besides this, there is no signs of a commander nor of a lost man, so we venture deeper. Second crypt is a much bigger one. Stone-cold corridors twist and turn, leading into the darkness that light could barely pierce. A clacking of bones and metal grew louder every second, heard gnarling sounds of zombies and what else coming deep within. Unfazed, we slowly venture forth into the dungeon.
This is no place for the weak or foolhardy. Watch your step. A decisive pummeling. You still foolishly consider yourself an entity separate from the whole. Buffoon.
Let's see what they're made of!
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
For a crypt, it has an awful number of traps. Like someone didn't want anybody to investigate the deeper holes. As a reward for a conscious approach, monsters slain and traps disarmed, we level up to level 5. The progression of our campaigns is as straightforward as it gets. They count multi-class and follow the selected class and preset until the end of the game. We, however, hitting level 5, are granted a spell slot for level 3 spells. Now we have an access to our main way of dealing damage, in addition to many useless spells, and that list would only become bigger the stronger we become. Taking Slumber as a sleep plus spell is an interesting decision. But come on, being a freethinker is not as beneficial as it sounds, and of course, a well deserved rest is in order, as we cleared the rooms of tainted flesh and treasures. Among the living bone and marrow, a ravenous ghoul sprang to life and rushed forward, straight for a weakened Nishka. Chew on that, you filthy abomination. On his corpse, we found a glowing ring of resistance that boosts our saving throws.
I'll take it.
After cleaning up the remaining rooms, we approached a locked chamber, with ominous sounds and words coming from behind the door. We rush in to meet with a shadowy figure performing some sort of ritual.
Fresh materials to work with. Excellent. Attack, my children. Let us add their corpses to our army.
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Boom, bam, bada bop, boom, pow.
Among the spoils of a fallen priest, we discover a treasure trove, magical items, including a headband of intellect and scrolls of heal and hold person spells. Yes please! In a chest nearby, we find various potions and a note. Much of the information was lost, but by the way it was written, it was a progress letter. to be sent to someone. We find Commander Tan injured but alive. He shares his harrowing tale. He had ventured into a graveyard to investigate the disappearance of his men, but was ambushed, separated from his group and captured by now deceased priest. Tan reveals that priest, while working with someone called Black Garius, was probing for weaknesses in Fort Lock's defenses and raising the dead for some nefarious schemes. But whatever information he gave out is now lies with a priest, as well as most of his army. Then he asks us a favor, to help him find his men, dead or alive. We accept it. I'm not a fan of a god and their proclaimed justice, but dying in a place where the dead walk freely is a fate worse than any possible crime I will commit. Then join us as companion, and rather than turning mission into escort mission, he aids us with his mighty sword. Pulling a lever, we unlock the rest of the crypt. The undead, once a menacing threat, now crumble easily under our combined might, though we still keep a watchful eye on Tan. In the depths of a crypt, we find one of Tan's men injured but alive, another tragically deceased, and the third trapped in a corridor, booby trapped with arrow traps. With all survivors accounted for, our mission here is complete, and we leave the crypt for good. We step outside, weary from a battle, but with lifted spirits and a live commander, and after short rest, we return back home. Upon our return, Lieutenant Velas with his men awaits us. Initially, his demeanor seems genuine, as he expresses gratitude for Commander Tan's safe return. However, this quickly fades as Velas' true colors start to shine, revealing his delusions of grandeur and superiority. Despite our efforts, persuading Velas and his loyalists proves futile. I did not went through the dungeon and saved him, just to give away on a whim of a French-looking guy. You want him? Take him, from my cold, dead hands. The ensuing confrontation is fierce. Velas, for all his arrogance, proves a formidable opponent, but ultimately he falls, and with him his ill-conceived rebellion crumbles. Having successfully completed the rescue, we received a generous reward, and all things seems to start falling into place. Patrols are resumed, justice is served, and the threat of an undead army is prevented. 30-minute video is ready, roll credits, to be continued. But it's not. The roads to Highcliffe remain treacherous, still infested with bandits. As we're about to leave the fort concerns in Commander Tan's hands, he mentions a substantial bounty for the head of a notorious bandit leader and his gang, as well as a reward for saving hostages. Well, why didn't you say it right away? I mean, Nishka, who's been listening keenly, recalls spotting a sizable bandit camp en route to fort and marks its location on a map. Before setting off on our new quest, we make a quick stop for supplies, equipping Nishka with proper weapon, stocking up on potions, medical kits and spell components. We are well prepared for this lucrative challenge.